Welcome to your Voice Your Impact show, where authentic voices spark real change and bold conversations lead to lasting impact.
That's right. This is a space where we amplify ideas, celebrate stories, and challenge mindsets because every voice matters and every story has the power to transform.
Whether you're a dreamer, a doer, a change maker, or someone simply figuring it out, we are here for you. Each week, we bring inspiring guests, thought-provoking conversations, and powerful insights to help you own your voice and leave your impact.
I am the energetic EJ, a life and transformational coach, a podcaster, and an event host. I work with women who are accomplished to turn their success into legacy influence.
Hi, my name is Lois Ugbe, but many know me as Scott Unlimited. I'm a seasoned compere and orator par excellence, passionate about connecting people through words and purpose. Beyond the mic, I'm a business intelligence professional driven by insight, strategy, and impact.
My name is Grace So Amazing. I am an integrative life coach. I help my clients align their psychological, social, and physical well-being. I am the founder of Friends Lean On Global Foundation, a non-governmental organization that is centered on educating people about mental and emotional well-being. Like,
subscribe,
and share. Welcome.
All right. Welcome to another episode on Your Voice, Your Impact. This is the energetic EJ, and we are super excited to be here today. It is the final day, the final episode in 2025. Today is the 29th of December, 2025. In just 2 days, we'll be bidding 2025 goodbye and welcoming 2026. Whoa, what a year 2025 has been. I don't even want to talk again about it. It's been the last couple of days has been days of reflection and just looking at how the year has been, but how grateful we are, which is why this series also is about gratitude, but also just taking stock of what has happened, how the year has been for our guests as well. And so today we're having one of those conversations, and our guest today is a young, inspiring person who, ventured to do something wonderful this year. I was able to go through it, and we're going to hear all about that in a jiffy. But let me bring on Gracie. Let's talk about our weekend, how it went, and then we'll get into the conversation of the day, talking about the Big Conference 2025. So something happened earlier this year called the Big Conference. What happened? How did it come about, the Big Conference? What happened during the Big Conference? And what has been happening after that? Those and many more are what we're going to unpack in this series with our guests today. But first of all, let me bring on Gracie so we can catch up a little bit. Hello, Gracie. How are you and how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yes, I can hear you. Your video is still breaking, but we can hear you. Your audio is clear.
All right, good. I'm hoping that this would stop. I don't know why it's lagging, but one of those things. I'm happy. I'm excited, and my weekend was beautiful, especially for the fact that yesterday we had our webinar. It was a wonderful one, quite revealing, and I'm still basking in the euphoria of what we did yesterday. And overall, celebration upon celebration and upon celebration. That's the only thing happening this last the year. So yes, we're having fun.
Absolutely. I think it's a beautiful thing. I saw a post just briefly today of somebody saying between Christmas and the New Year, it's like you don't know what day it is because everything is just jumbled up. There's one event or the other, another family gathering, and all of that. It's like almost like those days are like, ooh, if you don't take care, you don't even know. You just know that, wait, what? We just said a Merry Christmas, and the next thing we're saying is Happy New Year. That's it. That week is gone like that, right? So I can totally understand. It's a period of celebration, but in the midst of all of that is, like you said, we're grateful that we're able to have the webinar yesterday and still have some time to reflect and to allow our eyes to see some of the participants yesterday talking about, oh, I didn't notice that before, or I never knew this before and now I know it. Just bringing that awareness to them was a beautiful experience, and we hope that they will carry what they've discover, that insight that they discovered at the webinar, carry it on into the new year and apply some of the things that they've learned during that session to their journeys going forward. All right. So yes, the weekend was beautiful. Again, it's activity upon activity upon activity, really. And this last couple of days is the last of days. So yesterday was the last Sunday of the year. Today is the last Monday of the year. Tomorrow will be the last Tuesday. And we have the last. So again, it could also come with some level of pressure, but I want to encourage you to look at it from a standpoint of gratitude more than pressure, more than regrets, just from a place of gratitude. Like whatever the situation is for you, it could have been worse, but you are here. And the fact that you're still breathing today means that there is still hope for you. It means that, things can still pick up, just sending love and light your way wherever you are watching from today. So like we said today, we're talking about how our guest today hosted the big conference. I'm like, what's the big conference? What is it about? If you're hearing that for the first time, where you're about to know more about what the big conference is about, the story behind it, and how it happened, what lessons, our guest has learned from that journey, so far. So we're going to bring up our guests in a short while from now. In the meantime, if you're here and you're watching, depending on where you're watching from, whether that is Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube, I want you to drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know that you can hear us and you're here to be part of the conversation. So let me know in the comments, say hi in the comment. Let me know that you can hear me and you're happy to be a part of the conversation. Come on, quick check. Proof of life, proof that you're there. So please type something in the comment, all right? Type something in the comment. Let's know that you're there and you're here with us. Our guest today is a founder. She's a speaker, as well as a tech leader and a podcaster as well, right? So she wears many hats, and it's beautiful to see what she's doing. Quite a young lady, but she's created so much impact in her space, training and transforming over 3,000 individuals across 10 countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, and the Gambia. And she helps, all those people that she's working with, that she's training, to help them segue into the tech space, right? So we're going to talk about all of that in a moment as we welcome our guest, Lois Ugbe. Hello, Lois. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really excited to be here. Hi, Grace. Hi, Adrian. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm getting feedback now from Instagram. Prince, thank you, Prince Modest from the UK. He says loud and clear, amazing host. Thank you so much for that confirmation. So LinkedIn people, represent yourself. YouTube people, represent yourself. Let us know that you are there. Lois, how are you doing? I know you're excited, but outside of the excitement of being on the show, just looking at your journey so far in 2025, what is one thing you are grateful for? If you are going to wrap it up, I know there could be many, but if you're going to put an umbrella on it, what are you most grateful for in 2025?
I really think that it will be audacity, right? Audacity will be the words to wrap up 2025 for me. Audacity, just having the nudge and the desire to just do whatever you feel has been in your heart to do. So audacity.
I love it. When I saw your video about saying, I am going to meet so person this year.
Yeah.
I do not know how, but it's going to happen. I'm like, okay, what is this audacity? And so when we decided that we're going to look at achievements and tie that into gratitude for the year, I'm like, okay, she has to come tell us what audacious move was that about. And then, I also, followed your story around the big conference. I'm like, okay, you know what? You're a perfect guest for this series. So fantastic word, audacity. I love it. So when you started 2025, did you have that word as your word for the year? Most of us, when we enter into a new year, we're like, okay, this year, this is one thing I'm focusing on, right? Was audacity part of yours, or it just jumped on you and you just, went with the flow?
Funny enough, it was not part of me. It was not something that I thought that I was going to like maybe follow through or anything, but it just jumped on me, right? So I sort of like have a, should I say, a, so there's something that I do. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. So something I do is this. Even if when I go for my retreat in December to like know what God will have me do for the next year, all of those things, I sort of like give God a blank slate to work with. And so if God says, okay, my child, I think you should do this right now, don't do this, I just do it. So audacity was not even part of it. I didn't even know I was going to do the big conference this year. Like I had no idea. So it was not part of maybe any vision board that I written maybe in December 2024, but I just had a nudge and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. So
Love it. Okay, I'm going to take us back to the beginning now. Introduce yourself to us in a way that you want us to be memorable, and then I'll pass the mic on to Gracie to take the conversation forward. So please introduce yourself in a way that you want it to be memorable.
hi everyone, my name is Lois and I am on a mission to ensure that I die empty by doing everything God has called me to do, pouring out my gift and ensuring that everyone who comes, in contact with me does not live the same way.
That's beautiful. Gracie, please, over to you.
Wow, powerful. It just that's really powerful. And we were coming from a place like yesterday. We had a conversation around gift and talent, and you just speaking out and saying that you want to be able to express your gift and talent, so that by the time you get to that ripe old age, you're like, yes, I am not going back with anything. Now, tell us, what are some of these gifts that you've discovered so far, and how have you been using the gift to bless the people in your space?
Okay, so I'm going to start from the very beginning. I studied education in school, and for the longest time, I felt like what I studied in school was not exactly big, or it didn't make any sense. People were like, "Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a pharmacist, I'm a this," but I did education in school, and for the longest time, I was really ashamed to talk about what I studied in school. So for the longest time, I would just say, "Oh, I did this." I wouldn't tell you exactly what I studied in school, but God began to like deal with me on that aspect, and I realized that me studying education was not because, of course, I chose it, was not because I was not good enough or I was not smart enough, because God wanted to do something with my life. And I'll explain. After school, I got into tech, right? And when I got into tech, I saw how that it was difficult for me to get my first job. And I said to myself that if God is going to help me get my first job and maybe establish my agency to a large extent, I will ensure that everyone that I train, everyone that passed through my academy will not struggle to get their opportunities or their first opportunities. And so I began to teach. And then I realized that teaching for me was very easy. It came very easy for me. And I was able to break down complex, tech words such that anybody can understand. And God just made me realize that what I studied in school was also a very big factor in ensuring that, because I understand how learning takes place, I understand the psychology of learning, and so I know how to break things down, break complex things down. So that's actually one of my gifts is actually teaching, ensuring that I can break down things such that anybody can understand. And I've been able to do that so far. I mean, 15 countries now and counting. People have been able to start their own businesses. I got a couple of feedbacks this year from people that I trained that were like, "Oh, one thing I enjoyed about your teaching is the fact that you know how to break things down such that I can understand." So I would say that one of my gifts is actually teaching, and I'm really grateful to God that I've been able to like explore that gift and also express it to people around me as well.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, 15 countries. Now, my next question is how are you doing it? How are you doing it? You know, to be able to connect or get people from 15 countries. I know the world is a global village. It's very easy to connect people from different parts of the world. But how did you, carry us through that process of teaching people around the globe? Would like to learn.
Okay, so funny enough, I've not even set foot in any of these countries yet, but I have people who are there. So, the internet is just a great leveler, and the internet is such a great, blessing to this generation. So I've been able to leverage the internet. And I think one thing I've been able to do is also leverage relationships. So thankfully, I have people in these countries, some of them, and I've been able to see how I, collaborate with them to ensure that more persons in their countries, get involved in whatever we are doing. So I would say collaborations, partnership, and just making the most of relationships as well. Because one of the ways I was able to get into Gambia was through somebody, one person, and from that one person I'll be able to connect with other persons. So I would say leveraging on relationships. So I don't even have to go to Gambia before I have somebody in Gambia. The internet is such a great space right now that has helped me just distribute whatever I'm doing and increase the impact on every skill. So I would say the internet too, and leveraging on relationships and partnerships. So because I realized a lot of people, the truth is that if you want to do it on your own, you will not grow faster. But with partnership, collaborations, not seeing people in the same space as you, as competitors, but see them as people you can actually partner with to actually scale your vision. The problem is a lot of people, they want to do it on their own. I mean, I don't want to have partners. I don't want to have anybody. Let it be. People think that people think that there's so much glory in their story when they said, I started from the scratch. Nobody helped me. Well, we don't really care so much, right? The point is to make bigger impact. And if having people around is going to do that, then by all means, have them around you. Have them around you. Yeah.
I love the we don't care part. Like seriously, that story that you want to tell us so that you look like Superman or Superwoman. We really do not care. Thank you so much for sharing. Over to you, the energetic EJ.
I love it. I was just recording an episode of a podcast I'm working on now. And this was the conversation I was having. The fact that it's really strange to me when I hear people say, "Well, I'm self-made." Like, hello, it took two people to come together for you to even form. So how are you self-made? Why, like, how? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I know you work hard, but even at that, somebody opened one door at some point in that journey. Do you see? Even if you had to be the one knocking the door, somebody on the other side had to open it for you. So you can't, claim to be self-made, right? So thank you for sharing that and saying that, you leverage technology, collaboration, and, just, partnering with other people to spread. And I think that's very important for anyone watching this to listen, to hear, which is at the end of the day, what is more important to you? Is it you taking the glory or the vision being expressed? And it ties back to what you said in the beginning when you introduced yourself to say that my goal is to die empty and ensure that everything that I carry is released and is used and is served, to serve the people that have been sent to. So if that means I need to partner with somebody else to ensure that you get this thing that I have, let it be so. The point is that you get the message, you get the impact that I bring to the table. And I think that is beautiful. Now, you said earlier on when you were introducing yourself about the year that you didn't plan to have the big conference, for example. So how did that come into play? Why did you pick on it to say, okay, this is one of those ones that, because I want to believe that there were other ideas that dropped for you this year that you probably didn't action. So what determined that this particular one has to come alive, and walk us through that process from when it dropped or when you decided, okay, this is one of the ones I'm going to pursue, and how did that play out until it became a reality?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. So I sort of had a nudge that I was going to host a conference, but I didn't know when. I started having this, nudges in 2024, I think from October to December. But I was like, okay, let's see. But I wasn't certain that it was going to happen. And so we got into 2025, and then even my goals, I don't typically have goals for the year, if I'm being honest. Of course, maybe I have maybe sales target, or in a month you must make this amount of money, revenue, as a business person, right? But I think personal goals that are relating to like purpose directly, I don't really have those goals, because I sort of like to give God a blank slate to work with. Like, what would God have me do? God, whatever you're asking me to do, just tell me and I'm going to do it. So that was it for me. So I already had the knowledge I was going to host a conference. I wanted to rather, but I didn't really have a release in my heart to go about it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it in Ibadan, because I schooled in the University of Ibadan, and I have people that sort of like know me there. I could leverage on my maybe department, go to my department. I'm hosting a conference. I want some students to actually come for the conference. So it was like I had people in Ibadan compared to Abuja, where I was actually not, exactly popular and all of that. So, but then, you know, January came, and then there was still no nudge to host a conference until I think it was March. I started having it strongly in my heart. I was like, it's going to happen, but I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen. And so the day that I knew I was going to host the conference was in April. We had a conference in church, I think the faith conference. And then my pastor was talking about something about how if God has asked you to do something, just do it. You could start with a simple flyer, you could start by registering your business. And I was like, okay. And I just did not just increase. Like, it was so much. I knew that this was not me. It was not me just being excited about, oh, I want to host a conference. Let's do a conference. I want to be pop. No, it was not that. It was just that it was a supernatural nudge. I knew it was not just me that was thinking that way. And so I said, okay, what do I do? I messaged my graphic designer. I told him, I said, please, can you help me design a flyer that says the big conference is coming? I put a date, August 3rd. Anyway, it didn't August 2nd. It didn't happen August 2nd anyways. It happened later in August. But I was just like, August 2nd, put it. And then I posted it. And people were like excited. Oh my God, we cannot wait. How do we go up? Like, what can we do? Everyone was excited. When are we going to start registration? All of those things. People wanted to register. And I'm like, okay, we've done flyer now. What is the next step? The next step will be like, okay, let's do registration. Let's have volunteers and all of that. And then I called for volunteers for graphic design. And people just, slide me. That was where the challenge started. The whole excitement, people, like, their eyes are already clear now, like that, now you're on your own. And I was wondering, my graphics guy said he could not do it, that he's busy at work, that can only help with videos. I'm like, but please, we don't have. So that was where the challenge started, or the challenges, because there were many along the way. That was actually how it started. But yeah, that was basically how the conference started. Yeah.
Wow. So when you decided, did the name come to you, or did you just say, okay, this is, or have you always known? Before I speak English, you will be correcting me. Have you always known that it will be called the Big Conference? Like, why the name the Big Conference?
That's the thing. So funny enough, it's not an acronym. It's not like big means something, I mean something. It's just the Big Conference. Honestly speaking, I don't know why, but that's the name that just came. The Big Conference. I don't even know why it came, and it made sense to me. Okay, the Big Conference. Oh, let's do big things, things like that. So that was it. So that was how it came, like the Big Conference. And let's go with this. Let's go with this.
I see.
Yeah.
So was it big?
Yeah, it was, at least in my eyes, it was big, and to some persons it was big. But looking at it now, and what we're going to do next year, is looking small already, honestly speaking. But let's just say it's still big right now. But I know from Friday, or is it Thursday? From Thursday, it's going to start looking small. But yeah,
from 1st of 2026, it's like I like it. So if you were going to say, okay, from that point when you started to feel the challenges, face the challenges from people supporting, and then because this was a physical conference, correct?
Yes, it was.
So there's a lot of moving parts, meaning venue, vendors, all of those things. If you look at all the journey of conceptualizing it to executing it and to looking at the debriefing after executing to now see that, okay, wait, the way things are going, this would even become the small version, like the next version is going to be bigger than this. What are some lessons that you took away from that experience that you can now look back and you're grateful for, like, oh, thank God these people said no in the beginning, and this is what, you know, I learned from that journey? Can you distill some of the lessons that this journey kind of brought your way?
Okay, so I think this journey just made me, re-emphasize the fact that not everybody will believe in you, and that's fine. And you know why it's fine? Because even me, I don't believe in everybody. And that's because many times I'm not discerning to see what, a thing is. And that's okay, right? Because I may not be discerning sometimes to see, okay, this is what it, so let me support this person. And so there's no point getting angry that people did not support me, because I don't support everybody. So that's one of the lessons I learned from this experience. The fact that don't take offense when somebody says, oh, I don't believe in you, I don't support you, because even you don't even believe in everybody, and that's okay, right? But many times the prayer is to pray that God help me to believe in people that, I should believe in. Basically, see people not, by, physical appearance or, what they have materially, but really who they are in person, who they are, like their spirit and their soul, all of that. So it made me realize the fact that it's okay, people don't believe in me, don't take offense, move on. And also it made me realize that even though some persons may not believe in you, people believe in you, some persons will believe in you. And so don't focus all your energy on those that don't believe in you and just, getting grumpy. They didn't believe in me, I'm not going to talk to you again, you hate me. No, that's not necessary. It's not. Move on. Did anybody support you? Yes. Move on with those guys. That's fine. Then I think the third experience I learned, was really learning how to sell a vision to people. At first, I struggled with selling the vision of the big conference to people. I didn't even know what it was all about. I just wanted to host a conference. But I think when I got clarity, I could confidently sell the vision to the volunteers. And then I told them, I said, if you are coming for the big conference as a volunteer, you must bring 2 people up. If not, you are not qualified to be a volunteer, right? I spoke to Sam Harvard before, the call, before the big conference. He told me this is because he has had conferences. And one thing about me, I like to learn from people who have, done it before. So I don't make unnecessary mistakes. He's like, Lois, you need to get volunteers. That's the thing. I need to sell the vision to them properly. And I said, okay, that's it. So I sold the vision to my volunteers, and then they got it. And so they were able to like ensure that people actually registered. They were like so involved, doing videos. People were just really excited about it because they could see themselves in the vision. So it was easy for them to be a part of it because I sold it to them as though it was their vision. So it was as if it was their vision. So it became everybody's vision at the end of the day. So I think that's actually what the experience taught me, how to effectively sell the vision. And I think it comes from knowing exactly what you want, clarity. What do you want to achieve at the end of the day after the conference? Is it just the buzz of the experience, or, oh, I did a conference, but what exactly is the end goal? Once you can have that, figured out, it's easy for you to actually sell it or sell it to anybody. So yeah, so I think that would be like the lessons I learned from the conference experience. And then anything you set your mind to do, you can actually do it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll pass on the mic back to Gracie. Gracie, yes, anything you set your heart to do, you can actually do it. Thank you so much. Grace, over to you.
Interesting. The fact you said that when you told someone to do the graphics design for you and the person bailed out, like I said, relatable. I mean, it's the audacity for me, and I think we've been throwing out the word audacity in recent times because the people, all the people we have brought on the show this December, beyond being grateful, they've really done audacious things, and sharing your story, how you were like, "Ah, let me go to a place where they know me, jejeje, then let me come to a place where they don't know me, and then I'll now form my hand." Talk about the fear. I want you to talk about fear in its essence and how it's a normal thing and how it didn't stop you. By the where did the conference hold eventually? Where did it hold? And tell us the role fear plays when you plan to do something audacious.
Okay, so the truth is, I think if you're afraid of doing something, if you're experiencing fear to do something that is bigger than you, that's okay. But the truth is, don't act on it. It's okay to be afraid. Oh, I can't do this. I mean, don't lie to yourself. Okay, I feel like I'm scared. What do I do? That's a good place to talk to people who have done it before. So one thing I did, especially when it came to that fear area, was speaking to my mentor, person of Miss Mini friend. Why? She was not my exact mentor at that time. I mean, she was someone that I, just was meeting for the first time. So I wouldn't like call her a mentor at that time, but I just met her on a call. Like I paid for a mentorship program, and like she had this community thing. And so she was like, oh, everybody introduce yourself. And then I introduced myself and I told her, I want to host a conference and I'm actually scared. Like I did not go there and be saying, oh, I want to host a conference and I have everything figured out. I can do it, just to put on a bold face so that, because I was not going to do that. I mean, this was someone she has had her own masterclass in Lagos. And I mean, she has experience, she knows the, ropes and all of that. So there was no point trying to form, I can do it in front of her. So I said, you know what, I want to host a conference, but I don't know exactly how to go about it. I'm afraid. And she began to tell me, okay, don't be scared, do this, do that, do this, do that. And then I took her counsel and it really helped a lot. So I would say that when it comes to, doing something you've not done before, look at people who have done it before. You can't tell me nobody has held a conference before. Nobody has done a masterclass. Anything you're doing right now, somebody has done it before, right? It's just that you're meant to do it, maybe have your own unique source and all of that, just something different. Maybe there's a particular line or a way that God will have you do it different from the other person, but it's not to say that nobody has done it before. So I would say when it comes to overcoming fear, look for somebody that has done that thing you want to do, or the person is doing that thing you want to do, and then learn from them. Express yourself. Don't go and meet them and be forming both face. I can do it. I've made it in life. No, be vulnerable. That's how you get help. So I was actually very vulnerable to get help. I spoke to a couple of persons who have had conference. Some of them did not. Some of them ghosted me. They did not even respond to my message. Anyway, I'm not offended. I get it. It's fine. But I know someone that ghosted me. I don't want to mention his name. He ghosted me, and that's okay. But at least the people that responded to me, I took their counsel and it really helped. Eventually, we had the conference in Abuja, and it was such an amazing conference. We had over 200 persons attend. Yes, 200 persons attend, and it was just a very great conference. It was in Abuja. I didn't have to go to Ibadan again. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Whether people come or not, I will still do it. But thankfully, people actually came, and it was a great one.
I was just hoping, I was just saying in my heart that please let her just mention Abuja. Let her just mention Abuja, because we always like when the comfort zone, that place where this is where I know this is. Let me just not go and form my hand. What if I hold it and it's just one person or two people? For the mere fact that you did it in Abuja, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. My next
Thank
question.
you so much.
My next question to you is centered around is one thing to study a thing. You said you did education, right?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I want you to share some of the traits that you exhibited as a student, or some of the things that you discovered about yourself that strengthened, because nothing just happens, even no matter what. Sometimes when you trace where you're coming from, they'll say, okay, I was doing this and it strengthened me to be able to do this. Because somebody might be listening now, I'm like, that young lady said she did a conference. Oh yeah, conference all the way. But you want to share with us, I'd like for you to share with us some of the things that you did as a student, some of the things, how you availed yourself, what you learned that you were able to apply after school, that you're currently applying, or that you could tell that this thing really helped. This thing that I did in the past is showing up here in what I'm doing, beyond the academics, just I'd like to hear that part.
Okay, so one of the things I did in school was volunteer a lot. So I was part of the TEDx UI team when I was in school. I volunteered from my 200 level to my 400 level. I was a volunteer throughout. So throughout my experience in school, we had a couple of TEDx events And I was friends with the licensee who brought TEDx to UI. So I saw how they were organizing events. So of course that gave me like a very good head start in organizing my own conference. I'm not going to lie, right? It was very helpful. And also I saw how that how they were trying to raise funds for the event, and how they got their vendors together. Even though at the point I was part of also the logistics team, so I had those experience. I didn't know at that time that okay, they were going to be very helpful. But looking back now, I can say that volunteering in school and being a part of TEDx UI in school was really very helpful. Then I joined a couple of organizations too, some NGOs trying to like volunteer. Also, I joined a couple of organizations too, teaching kids how to do tech, how to write, code. I think we taught them how to write Scratch. So Scratch is like a basic programming language for children. So I volunteered to actually teach Scratch when I was in school. I think I was in 300 level at that time. I hated going home. Like, I don't want to be home. Like, I want to be in school. And the reason was because I'll give context just before you think I don't like my house. Please, in case my mom and dad are watching it, like, so you do not like us. That is not true. I'll tell you. So I grew up in a village, right? Somewhere in Delta State, a very small place, if you know Abraka, I didn't grow up in Abraka, I grew up in Obiaroko. There's Abraka, there's Obiaroko. You get to Obiaroko is quite like a village. So I went to school, and I told myself I was not going to school in Abraka or maybe Benin, somewhere that is close. I wanted to go far. So I went to Ibadan, which was really far from the house, because I wanted to be exposed. I didn't really get those exposure growing up as a child. So when I was in school, any opportunity like to make myself better, personal development, and that would have meant not going home, I would take it. So most times I spent my Christmas in the school, hostel, or I'll go to my grandma's place. I mean, before she died, right? I'll go to her place. After that, I won't sleep over. I'll go back to the hostel. So I'm always in the hostel most times. So I think those experience really helped me because it gave me the time to volunteer. People are always traveling home, going home, but I was in school, and okay, what do I do? How can I make the most of this holiday season? I'll volunteer to teach kids how to program. I'll volunteer for organizations, people that are going to school to go and talk to girls, or basically talk to girls about taking their education and their life seriously. Those NGOs, I was there, I was everywhere. And it affected my grade though. Honestly, I did not know how to balance it well. I finished with a 2-1. I started with the first class, but because of everything, I didn't know how to manage, school, volunteering, everything. I just put all my heart into volunteering. I was tired of school at some point. 400 level, I wanted to drop. I said, I'm not doing it again. I'm not fit. But I just had to 400 level. I don't want to disappoint my parents. And so I eventually graduated with a 2-1, right? Even I could have finished with the first class if I had maintained, maybe known how to manage my day and manage my time and all of that. And also some other external things that I don't want to talk about. But yeah. So I think those things really helped me, give me a head start for the conference. Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing. That question was intentional.
Okay.
That question was intentional because I mean, it's very easy for certain people to hear stories, and what we do on our show really is it's not just about people coming to share stories. We want to leave a track record. We're tired of people just saying, telling us the beautiful parts and leaving out what really is. And at the end of the day, some people will start certain things and they'll get frustrated and they will be like, why is mine different? Why am I, But what you just shared is for someone out there that might be a student watching this, or someone that is in a place where they are looking for something ahead, but they are afraid, or they don't even know the next move. Just volunteering can help you create that track record. So I just took out time to ponder on this part because I know that somebody is going to be impacted by this story. Thank you so much for sharing, and it's okay. First class, I know first class is good to have, but what you gained, a first class person will be struggling to gain it now. And trust me, I know a couple of first class people, a couple that to balance these things can help. All right, over to you, the energetic EJ.
I love it. I love it. And I think again, yes, it's just what it is with life. Sometimes we can't get it all. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, when you look at it, what you like what Grace is saying, what you gained versus what you lost in academia, you gained life experience. That's what people are paying for now. Like
Yeah.
now it's now that they have finished with the academia, they're not like, hey, what did I do all through school? Okay, now let me go and be looking for internship. But you were doing it side by side, and for you, what made it more beautiful was that you were aligned. That's what we talked about in our webinar last night. Being aligned. Now, your course, the course you studied was education, which is to teach. But your natural gifting is actually teaching. And
Yeah.
so, in taking that course, even though at the time you probably were not clear, like, this one is a gift, like teaching. But you could see, even from the volunteering you did, it all had to do
It-
with teaching. You were teaching
Yeah.
kids, you were teaching girls, so you are aligned. And so, for you, if you look back now in retrospect, you will see how rounded you truly are. Because it's like, oh, okay, it's all around what is in my core. And that's why now you are blazing the trail. 15 countries. Don't lie. How many first class in UI that graduated the same time you graduated can confidently give this track record? Do you see? And this is not from a place of boasting, but it's a
Yeah.
place of saying, when you find, wherever you find yourself per time, sometimes you might not be clear to you. But I love what you said in the beginning, and which is something that we don't always talk about. But sometimes, if it comes out like that, I think it's important that we buttress it. Just like Grace buttressed the fact that, see, there is backstory. You just say, I want it audaciously, and I did it. That's it. No, the last one of the guests this month that took a challenge to join the World Guinness World Record to also teach, right? To teach programming. He loved it. He loved teaching, and he's been doing it for a long time. But he's like, and just like you said, he didn't plan that he was going to do it this year. Somebody just mentioned it. I was like, okay, let me do it. And he did it. But well, guess what? He's been practicing. So it's not that someone just come and just say, I'm audacious. You will fall flat. But it's okay. Some people will also go that route. You will do that audacious gra, you will fall flat, and you will learn from it if that's your pathway. What I'm saying
Yeah.
here is to say, for people of faith, just like you said, this is your own. And I love that you recognize it on time, and you're working with that blueprint for yourself, being that you're not under pressure to say, yeah, won't end now, let me quickly go and do my goals, let me quickly do my vision board. No, you already know your own framework to say, God, we are here again. No, 2025 has ended. Here I am, clean slate. What do you want us to do in 2026? I am
Yeah.
available. Whatever you
Yeah.
say, let's go. And do you see? So thank you for pointing that out. And this is to let people know, like, if you're listening to this, especially young people, please pay attention to your own patterns so that you're not under pressure to say, because I was telling myself this thing, like, having conversation. I love having conversation with myself because it's beautiful. But one of the conversation I was having with myself was, do you know, like, this pressure thing? Honestly, if you know your pattern, life will be fun. Oh. People may not
Yeah.
understand it, but you will be on your lane. Now we are using the calendar like, hey, a year has ended. Do you know some people's 2026 has already started in October? And they're
Yeah.
already leaving 2026. So when they come into 2026 and they keep going and they don't stop, but yours is starting in 2026. That's when you now take the first 3 months off, to not do anything. You cannot now be looking at those that didn't take any break in January, February, March, and be looking like them, like, they did not even take any break. They did not even go off because you went off. Just know your own format and follow your formula, because your formula is different from every other person's formula. So thank you for owning that, to say that that is how you work with God, to say, see, I'm opening a clean slate. I have my own ideas, I have my desires, but I'm laying it at your feet to say, what do you want me to do with this desire? The end goal for me is that whatever you want me to do, I'm ready to pour it out. I'm ready to die empty. I want to give it all, right? And so thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for owning your formula and sharing it with the world. And that's not to say, if this is not your formula, go and follow it. No, please. If yours is to calculate and write and do vision board, please go all out and own it with your full chest. As we are getting ready to wrap up this session, Lois, I want you to speak to young people. Now, what you do, you studied education, but what you're using the education to do now is to help people transition into tech. And I know
Yeah.
that at some point, I think you won Tony Elumelu's. Did you?
No, it was the one of Mrs. Flourish Africa.
Yes, like I know you won one of those
Yes,
startup grants. Yes.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
now you're helping people transition into tech. Can you speak to that a little bit? Because now it's the year is ending, the new year is coming. Again, sometimes these are things that when we share, you never know who might just pick on it to say, I've been thinking of it, but now that she said it, is something that I might need to follow through. So talk about it because we know now without any doubt that tech is like all of us are now tech people that express it with different things. Because if you
Yeah.
anything you're doing now, it has to have tech in it. There's no excusing it. There is no looking at it like, I know I'm not a techie person. You have to be a techie person. So
Yeah.
speak to us about that transition. What is it like for somebody who is like, I really want to, but it's too much. It's overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to look. What do I do? What course do I take? Where do I go? How can you, based on your journey so far and how you've helped thousands of people make this transition, what can you share
Yeah.
with somebody in that space right now to help them maybe make a decision or decide if this is something they want to do or not?
Okay, so I would say that just try, right? If you don't try, you can never know whether you excel at something or not. So just try. And the truth is, right now in tech, you don't even have to be a programmer to get into tech. There's a lot of stacks that you can actually do that does not require you to write a single line of code. So you can check that out. And now to make it even more effective, I think last year I built something with a couple of people. I was the lead engineer on their project. And that thing, what we built was this. We built a system where people can actually take a test. And then after taking the test, the system will tell them what particular tech skill they can learn based on their performance from the test. It's sort of like a psychometric assessment thing. So you could actually take certain tests like that to know, okay, what particular tech skill am I going to be good at? And secondly, don't learn on your own. Don't be isolated. I think one of the things that actually helped me as a person, and not this is not even just about tech, but in life in general, is to ensure that you are learning within a community. Because if you learn within a community, you're going to learn better and faster, because as you're learning something new, you are going to encounter challenges. And trust me, if you're learning on your own, you're going to get discouraged easily. You're like, you know what, I'm not doing it again, because there's nobody to actually go to when you're struggling. And before you say, oh, I can check YouTube, I can do this. YouTube is great, right? But YouTube is not a system.
Oh, is that a network? Okay. Are you back? All right. Yes, go.
Yes, okay.
Yes, we're talking about
Sorry.
YouTube. Yes, go for it. No, it's fine.
Yes. So I'm not saying YouTube is bad, but no, get to join a community aside YouTube where you can actually talk about your challenges, and trust me, people who are around that community can help you, and that way you can grow faster. And if you want to even learn a tech skill and maybe start getting money from it, monetize it and all of that, you cannot just learn on your own, because these tech jobs, these tech opportunities, they're actually in communities. Nobody's going to post online, I need this thing. It's just going to be within a community. Oh, and somebody will just be like, oh, I have somebody in my community. Okay, let's do this. I currently run a community, and in that community, I've linked people to get job opportunities. And like I mentioned when I started talking earlier, I struggled to get my first job opportunity. And I made a vow to God that if God is going to help me, I'm going to ensure that people will not struggle to get their first job opportunity. So, and such opportunities is just within my community. I'm not going to put it outside. I'm not going to, because you have to be a part of the community. So I'm saying that because I'm trying to make you understand the power of a community when it comes to learning a tech skill. So get yourself into one and don't be discouraged. It's not so easy like that. I'm not going to sit there to tell you that, oh, it's going to be very easy for you. No, you're going to go through challenges, but keep at it, be consistent. And in no time, you're going to be one of the best in your field or whatever industry you choose to play in. Yeah. And this applies to every other thing in life, not just tech. So if you want to learn something, you want to be able to maybe pick up any skill, start with a community. Don't be isolated. That's the first thing. Don't isolate yourself. Don't do that. So get a community, join, and be serious about it. And trust me, you'll be fine in no time.
I love it. I love it. The power of community. I don't think we can say it enough. So please, if you're thinking of transitioning in any way, form, and shape, ensure that you look for the resources, but also look for a community that is going in the same direction so that you have people that you can exchange ideas with, exchange or have this. There's something about shared challenges. When everybody's
Yeah.
having the same challenge, everyone can put their heads together to solve that challenge. But if it's just you, it's true, you get discouraged easily. That's why if you want to work out, for example, you can work out on your own, it's sweet. But when you're in a community, the day you are low, when you see person A and B still jumping, they will drag you. You will jump
Yeah.
as well. Even if you don't, maybe if normally you jump 50, at least you will do 20. 20
Yeah.
is better than zero. If you're in a
Yes.
community, you'll be able to do that. So thank you so much for sharing that beautiful hack. Would there be any other thing that you would love to share? Grace, do you have any other question before we take a final word from Lois? Okay. I think that,
Can you hear me?
okay, now we can hear you. Yes.
All right. I was just going to ask. I was going to ask that. She said she was the engineer. I'm like, "Ah, this lady, you have many abilities." I was like, okay, how did you even the story? How you even got into tech would have been beautiful. Just a quick, I mean, how did you? What was the interest for you? How did you switch into because you're a teacher, by training, but you're in tech. Like tech is your core, So and I'm like, now for now, tech is how you really. So how did you even get into tech? That would be my last question.
Okay, very interesting question. So I got into tech because I did a course in school called educational technology, and that was the most interesting course I did in school throughout my 4 years in University of Ibadan. And I'll tell you why, because that course I didn't have to do. So I think I'll consider education as people in arts and humanities. So it means we have to we write a lot. We don't do a lot of calculation. Maybe people do chemistry education, all of those things. But people that are in education, we don't do any calculation like that. Okay, maybe stats that we did in 200 level and 400, I think. Right. But that particular course that I took, I didn't have to cram. I didn't have to It was not la cram la pour, any of those things. It was a very logical course, right? You had to use your brain. Yeah, your brain had to be involved 100%. So it came to me very easily. And I saw a lot of my classmates struggle with that course. They were struggling, and people were like, if I get for something, I'll go and thank God though. Me, I'm like, what do you mean? I got an A in that course. I got almost 8 in that course. And I was like, it was nothing to me. It was like beings. It was so easy. So I was like, okay, so maybe there's something here. So I left school. Okay, before I left school, I think in 2020, I finished my exams, but I had not submitted project at that time because COVID happened, and then we had to move projects 2021. But I had a conversation with myself. I said, Lois, you're going to go for NYC in 2021. Look at your life right now. With the course you studied in school, be honest, in Nigeria, how much can you make from this course? I said 50K max. I said 50K. Would you be surviving on 50K a month? What are the things you want to do with your life? Is it 50K you're going to use? I said, that's true. So I said, okay, what do I do? I messaged a friend that was into website building. I'm like, I want to learn website building. And I was like, if I learn it now, how much can I make now? So I went into tech, not because I was passionate, because of money. I will not lie to you. It was money, it was money, it was money, it was ego. It was money. So I was like, okay. So he told me that if I learn now, if I'm serious, in 2 months, 3 months, I'll make my money back. So I paid him 60K to learn at that time. I didn't pay him, I didn't have the money. So I spoke to my parents, sold division to them. They're like, okay, that's nice, no problem. We will encourage you. So they sent me the money, I was in the Ibadan that time. Of course, I barely go home. And then they sent the money to me. And of course, I registered and I began to learn. So along the way, that was when passion came. So passion was not the first thing. If I seated to tell you it was passion, I would be lying. AJ can slap me now and say you are lying. It's not true. Because it's not true. So it was actually not passion. It was money and just being honest with myself. So I knew, okay, I came from a very modest family. My dad is a professor. My mom is funny. My both parents are in the academics. They are into education too. So it rubbed off on me. My mom was a teacher before she transitioned into a principal in a government school, somewhere.
I think a call is coming through on her phone. Well, let's give that a second for her to come back. While we're waiting for Lois to come back, I hope that this conversation today has been interesting for you as much as it has been for us to see all the different parts and parcel, that makes, network that makes for this, beautiful journey. Okay, welcome back. Are
Welcome
you
back.
back
Sorry.
now?
Yes, a little bit. They've taken their light, so I think it's not
He said you've taken their life.
this country. This country. I'm trying to talk on my.
The light belongs to them. It's okay. Thank God for natural light.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm trying to see if I can turn on the inverter. Turn on the light. Okay, so where was I? Where was I? Just a moment.
You're talking about how your mom is a principal, and then your parents are academics, and they rub off on you.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So so I grew up in that environment where education was such a big deal, and then I needed to education was such a big deal, and so I thought I was going to follow in that line, but with the course I studied, I was honest with myself, and I didn't finish the first class because I wanted to actually do a master's afterward, but since there was no first class, there was no free masters. So I was like, you know what? Now there's no free masters. What can we do now? No free masters. How much are you going to in 50K? That is not it. That is not it. So that was actually how I went into tech, and then I just transitioned like that. So the first 2 months was not because I loved it. It came to me easily, but that was not the reason. It was because I wanted to make money, and I was honest with myself. Because I studied, the family I came from, you have to be very honest with yourself. Do you have leverage? I will never compare myself with anybody, and I don't think anybody should compare themselves with people. Just be honest with yourself. Where I am at right now, what can I do that would increase my chances of success? Do I come from a family of leverage? If the answer is no, then you have to be very smart. You can't just be learning any skill. Oh, you can't just be following all your hobbies like that. Especially, I'm being honest. If not, you're going to suffer. I'm not saying don't do your hobbies. Oh God, I beg. I'm just saying that be honest with yourself, right? Especially when you know that you don't have the resources. So maybe if you have the resources, you can now, okay, I'm going to do my hobbies later. But for now, focus on increasing your income. Focus on skills that will help you increase your income first. Then you can talk about your hobbies later. That's what I think. So that's actually how I got into tech. So it was not passion, it was money. Then along the line, then it became passion. But right now it's actually passion now. So it's not money anymore, it's passion now. But it didn't start with passion. And that's why I tell people you can learn anything. You don't have to be passionate about it. I am a proof that you don't need passion to learn anything. You need discipline, you need a strong why, you need you need motivation too, and also discipline. Of course, discipline will always beat motivation anytime, but have a strong why. And it doesn't have to be passion. It has to be, okay, where do I want to be? I'm going to, sacrifice all of this just to get to this place. And I'm going to do whatever it takes, legal, anything legal, I'm going to do it to ensure that I become a success and I leave, the ground to where I'm meant to be. So, yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much, Lois. That was such a beautiful question from Grace, as well as a beautiful answer from you. And I do hope that the people who have connected today have gotten some value from it. Even though you guys were just behind the scenes and you didn't say anything, you didn't ask questions or but I hope that you got value from the conversation today. Thank you, Lois. Such a beautiful way to wrap up 2025 with so much fire to say that, hey, you don't have to go for passion first. Money is also a good motivation, but don't just sit there. Don't let it be the only motivation. But then, the passion can catch up later. But of course, just be honest with yourself. Take a true evaluation of where you are, where you want to be, and what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Thank you so much, Lois. It's been a beautiful conversation with you today, and wishing you all the very best in 2026. Hopefully we'll get to, come and knock on your door again, like, you've done another audacious thing. So you'll come back and share with us and, come and encourage the people who are listening on the show. Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you so much for having me. I had such a great time. It was really fun hanging out with you too. It was fun. I had a great time.
No problem at all. Thank you so much. All right, guys, this is where we draw the curtain, not just today, but for 2025. The next time you'll be seeing our faces, it will be in 2026. We want to use this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has been a part of the show from the beginning of this year till now. And we hope that we're going to carry you along as we get into 2026 and into the next level of our of our outfit at Your Voice, Your Impact. And we can't wait to begin to unfold some of the things that we have in store as the year unfolds in 2026. But thank you so much for being a part of our journey. And yes, Happy New Year in advance. See you all next year. Remember, you have a voice, and your voice is meant for impact. Sarah Hanko, thank you so much. Oh, okay. They're sending their messages to you now from Instagram. Sarah is saying, thank you for sharing your experience. Prince is saying, thank you. Thank you, Prince, for being here. And Evangeline on YouTube is saying very engaging. We appreciate. Thank you all finally for saying something, because I would have thought this sweet in conversation, nobody is saying anything, but I know you are there because I can see the numbers. But thank you for dropping a word to say, to acknowledge that you actually enjoyed the conversation. So please, if you know any young person, share this with them, because then they can just get that encouragement to keep going, to keep doing what they need to do to make 2026 a better year than 2025. All right. God bless you, and see you next year. Bye-bye. Thank you, Lois. God bless you. Bye.